Hello, Word Church. I am back again with another recipe. This recipe is going to be a little more heartier than the tomato, avocado, and cucumber salad that we did last week. So, this one is one of my favorites. It's shrimp and grits. And yes, grits, you would probably think that that's a breakfast time meal, but actually, this is substantial enough to have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So please enjoy it any time of the day. So let's get started. As I mentioned, when I get my cooking going to help me get in the mood, I start with some music. Today we have on some New Orleans style jazz music to get us in the mood for this. I don't know if it's a traditional New Orleans dish, but that was the first time I had it years ago in New Orleans, back when I was in college. I am choosing today a nice sparkly wine, mainly because of the shrimp. I don't like to have a wine that's too heavy when I'm eating shellfish. Now, unfortunately, if you have a shellfish allergy, you won't be able to enjoy this dish, unfortunately, but you can make adjustments. Maybe instead of shrimp and grits, you can make it with something else you like chicken and grits, or, another dish that I used to love before I stopped eating land animals was I'd make some short ribs of beef and have that with grits and eggs. So that's another option for you, but that probably would be more breakfast than dinner, but you can eat it any time of day. So let's get started. I've already tried my best to have everything out. I just find that easier. And to cut down on time, I've already started my grits so that they'll already be done by the time we're finished with the shrimp preparation. And I use the Bob Red Mill original corn grits, or AKA polenta. They're healthier, they're not cracked grains, they're whole grains, and they are not overly processed or bleached, which is a good thing. And then I have my handy dandy Tony's Creole seasoning, which any New Orleans dish should not be without. And I have, of course, my Himalayan salt, a peppercorn pepper, kind of put that on the base of everything. I've already measured out some minced garlic, and then I've already cut up some mushrooms. You can use portobello mushrooms, whatever your mushroom choice is. I just use the white mushrooms. And then I also have some lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. And then, of course, the main ingredient is the shrimp. So I have deveined, peeled, and washed several times my shrimp. Simple enough, right? So let's get started. I like to use either extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. I'm actually all out of my avocado oil because I used it all last week, but I need to get some more. So I just lightly put a little bit in the pan to saute my shrimp. I put it on like a medium-high setting and let that heat up. The reason I like to use extra virgin olive oil is because you can actually heat it at a high enough temperature without changing the taste. Yeah, this is really good. And this particular Mom Napa was introduced to me by Deaconess. Maybe I shouldn't say her name. She might not want me to tell who. And she's sipping on some bubbly, so I won't say her name. But you know who you are. All right. Now, I am going to get out a spoon and lightly put this in here. I don't wait for it to get too hot. Mainly because I don't want it to splash back on me, so I don't wait for the oil to get too hot before I add something to it. And hopefully you can still hear me. I know I've walked a little bit away from the camera. I'll speak up just in case. Now while that's cooking and sauteing, this is when you add your seasonings. So salt and pepper is always a staple for me. Salt, pepper. And again, I am probably lighter than most on the salt, which is fine because whomever's going to eat can adjust their salt level as they see fit. And then stir that around. Now I'm going to add the garlic, the minced garlic. I like garlic, so I might be a little heavy on the garlic. Garlic is really good for you from a health standpoint. This is as close to I'll get as fresh garlic. I mean, the least I should say from fresh garlic. I do sometimes purchase fresh garlic, but it is really hard for me to press hard enough to get the juice out of it. So I don't often do fresh garlic. And you can get this from Sam's Club and it will last you forever, forever, ever. So I recommend that. Let's mix this up. And you want to stir those shrimp periodically, like maybe every minute or so. It does not take long for shrimp to cook. And it's actually very easy to overcook shrimp. Now I've already washed these and rinsed and washed these. So I'm going to add my mushrooms. It's about a cup of mushrooms, I'd say. So 1 cup of mushrooms. The salt and pepper was going to be to taste. Now, you're probably asking me, where's the onion? I get it. I am not an onion fan, so I am excluding onion. There is no onion in my preparation. But just as we're letting that cook, we'll go over some things that you need. We talked about the ingredients. So we have, of course, our grits. That's primary. About 1 pound of medium-sized shrimp. You can get large shrimp, but the larger the shrimp, the less shrimp that's in there to consider. And then I wind up having to cut the shrimp if it's too big as I'm taking bites of the shrimp and the grits together. To do medium, about 1 to 2 cups of mushrooms, depending on what your preference is. I only did about 1 cup because me and my daughters will enjoy this dish afterwards, and they don't necessarily like the mushrooms, so they'll pick around them, so that'll be more mushrooms for me. You can, at this point, add the green onions is probably best. But again, if you have white onions in your refrigerator, use your white onions. Do what you have that's in your refrigerator. We talked about the garlic, so I did about, this is really small, so I did about maybe 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, and then the salt and pepper is going to be to taste. And then I'm going to be a little heavy-handed with my Tonys because I love oh, it just made me, this thing is so spicy. Just shaking it made it choke me almost. If you don't have Tonys or you don't like Tonys, that's fine also. You can use cayenne pepper. This thing is so spicy, it's making my eyes water. You can use cayenne pepper, you can use red pepper sauce, whatever you have to give it a little bit of spice. Oh, goodness. It's a beautiful thing. Again, I'm a little heavy with it. You can actually add this into your grits too, which I recommend. Give it another stir. like cheese grits. I've decided to cut dairy out of my dietary lifestyle, so I'm not going to put any cheese in here. But look at those grits. Look how nice and creamy they are. I like consistently creamy, so not watery. Depends on what your taste is. Put that back in there. Put a little bit there. Always keep your counter clean. It's about health. Not to mention, if you're serving people, they don't want to come over and see your house is not kept. They might not want to eat your food. Okay, so pretty much that is it. Pretty simple. Once it starts to cook down a little bit more, I'm going to add the lemon juice. The lemon juice kind of just cuts the fishiness sometimes that shellfish can have. And I put probably about a couple of teaspoons. So maybe 2 to 3 teaspoons max of lemon juice. Oh yeah, that smells delicious. Delicious. I think I'm actually pretty good. I'm gonna turn my heat down and just kind of let it simmer a little bit. But this is shrimp and grits. Very easy, straightforward. You probably have these ingredients already in your pantry. And then let's do a plated version. Hold on. Let me get a cute plate to pull out so you guys can see it. I'm only going to do just a little bit. For effect, my grits are already done. A little bit of grits there. And yes, I am adding more Tonys. This is our final product. Shrimp and grits. Hold on, let me turn it around for you. There you go. Shrimp and grits. Fairly straightforward. Hearty enough to eat any time of day. And you have the flexibility to determine what you want from your taste standpoint. You could add, there's been times that I've cooked this dish and I've added tomatoes to it. There's also been times that I've added like a little red wine to it. Again, whatever, instead of the lemon juice, a little not red wine, sorry, white wine to it. Whatever your preference is. And I will make sure that we have a listing of the ingredients I used to go along with this. And I hope you have a blessed day. Be safe and stay healthy. Bye.